Alright folks, Acid Roots here, so we're gonna wrap up the Hot Air Skyway, I think that's what it's called, and you may have seen some of this footage last time, but it's kind of replay value here because the next recording segment was not quite enough for 2 full episodes, but it should work to serve its purpose. I mean, I feel like this is a little bit briefer a game than I remember. I think obviously it's because I'm playing it in my 30s now, but this is kind of interesting because, I don't know. I mean, PlayStation games are supposed to last. And I've said this several times, but hopefully you've got a nice hot slice of pizza in your hand, maybe some ranch dressing, some hot sauce, some extra condiment that you use for it, you know, even something outlandish like ketchup, maybe even mustard. Doesn't really matter. Just, you know, smell it. Get yourself a glass of Coke or a water bottle, something like that, and you should be all set to go. This is the course. I mean, now that I've played further in the game, I had a hunch that this is where we raced Pinstripe, and I don't have too many memories of Pinstripe, but apparently he's been in the Crash Bandicoot games before, but he fits this game. I will say, just because it makes sense that he would be in this world, just because these are the nastiest stages in the game. And that's just kind of the whole thing there. These are basically the nastiest stages in the game. They pull out all the stops, and really the next course that we're going to do is Oxide Station, which is basically a bastard, and that's what you have to understand, is this is where you race the absolute final boss, but we're just going to have to do a few more things. I'm going to do the crystal stages after I race Oxide, and then we'll basically call it a wrap. And you could say, well, wait a second, you're supposed to do the secondary races. You got to get the CTR letters and the extra courses. That is something I feel like is out of my vernacular. I hate to drop the bombshell that I'm not going to 100% this game, but I am at least going to complete the game, beat Oxide at least once, but I don't know if I have like this within my range, because I'm tired of having kind of like these games that I don't complete the whole way through, but I do think I can at least beat Oxide the first time. That's kind of how it's going to go, but it's been a fun playthrough. I've been playing this game since before Reggie was in the picture, you know, about acidic roots and stuff. Reggie's the new fangled pet of mine, and he's made appearances, so it's good there. But, that was kind of strange. I figured the loading screen would have loaded a little bit better, but, so yeah, we'll get started. Yeah, it's been since September. It's almost January. It's kind of the situation. I'm just like, what the hell? You know? I mean, honestly, the thing about it is, I just have not been messing with this game. This has really been like a game that I've had to juggle, and I know damn well that that's kind of the case. I haven't had this. If this had been my primary thing, rather than just like a side hustle, I probably would have beaten this game back in October, but I purposely chose not to, because I didn't want to get too focused up. I felt like I could juggle this, but I wasn't sure of the difficulty of this game. I took a break longer than I should have back in October, but I slowly but surely kind of came back to this game, and that's what we have. So, yeah, I mean, I would like to say I could do this 100%, but this game is just way tougher than Mario Kart. I mean, Mario Kart had like the perfect balance of difficulty. This game just takes it over the top. I mean, it's a brilliant adventure game, probably better than most racing games, and especially mascot racing games, but it just doesn't know. I mean, it plays a little bit rougher than it probably should, and I know this game is geared for like 12-year-olds, 11-year-olds, people like in the 5th, 6th, and 7th grade and stuff, and that's just supposing that's the truth. I mean, whether or not, like, I mean, I feel like that's what its demeanor is geared towards. I mean, obviously, supposing 12-year-olds could make it to like the tail end of the stages in the game, but that was like, I feel like obviously you play it when you get older, but obviously the sense of humor that this game has is more marketed towards the preteen set. But, you know, other racing games that were like this, like Sonic and those type games, I don't think they did that sort of thing. But yeah, so it's been fun, but I just haven't paid enough attention. I really don't remember any of the jokes from these characters. I mean, most of the characters in this game don't even talk. You know, like really, like Ripperoo, I don't remember what he was saying. I don't really remember Papu Papu. I mean, back in the PlayStation 1 days, just the fact that they had voice acting was seen as like a good thing, but I don't know how much I credit the script for having like genuine jokes and like, I mean, because Crash Bandicoot is more funny than most games for the PlayStation at least, but I don't know, the humor just kind of came and went. That totally should have hit that dude. So should that. That just sailed. Like, I get hit by bombs, but in the next stage you're gonna see like, or in the next episode you're gonna see Pinstripe. He uses the bowling bombs. Not to spoil it, but I don't think it's spoiling too much. But he's good with them. That's the thing. He obviously must have like a separate pastime hobby that he does in his spare time, which is bowling, because he knows how to bowl those fucking bowling bombs and stuff. So yeah, so you're gonna notice in later stages that these racers will steal your items often, and it could be like 3/4 of the way done with the stage before you finally get like the items that you need. There's just a lot of stuff. I mean, honestly, the best item in the game to get, apart from the blue orb, is just the 3-pack of missiles. That's, if you get that, just try to do good in the race. I've said this many times, but especially in these last couple races, it's essential. Like, it's this very ideal cutthroat tactics, but it needs to be done. This is the whole thing about it. So, and yeah, this is another stage that you need to kind of have like some relative skill set with, because this is where you race the final boss. So if you hate this stage, too bad. You know, that's kind of the thing. But especially if you're trying to 100% this game, that's even worse. But yeah, so it's just kind of one of those things. I'm happy to get another PS1 game kind of under wraps. It's been since basically Street Fighter Alpha 3 since I had really done that. But and oh yeah, you know, for folks from like a previous episode, if you're kind of wondering like, well, did you ever get that pizza that you said in an earlier episode you were gonna get? Yeah, I did, but it kind of pissed me off because, you know, they basically said that I was out of their range, and I called the closest store to me and they still said I was out of their range. They couldn't find my address, and that's probably the excuse they'd use. But I called the closest one to my address and they said, you're just not close enough to us. So I had to call again, and then they were actually further away and they decided to deliver it. So I don't know. I mean, maybe some of you guys have had bad luck like that before. Maybe, like, I don't know, if you happen to find this video and you've had bad luck with pizza deliveries, go ahead and tell me. Interesting stories. You'll get a cookie or two. This is kind of the remark about it, but yeah, I did get that pizza. It's effectively gone. That was mid-month that happened, but so yeah, I'm just kind of underneath the impression of, I mean, really, the way that they put these fruit anymore, they don't put them in ideal places, so you just have to really hunt for them. But the thing about it is it's really not that essential as much as I thought it was about getting the 10 fruit to get the super items, because it doesn't really help that much. These courses are not ideal unless you get like the blue orb. I just would have to say that that's about the only item that really helps with getting the 10 fruit. So, I mean, honestly, the beaker just transforms into the red beaker, which that item's crap either way. The TNT crate just becomes nitro, and that doesn't help much. You know, just items like that, they don't really help. The booster, for example, just boosts you further, and when you're jumping and stuff, that really doesn't help in turning. So there's not too many straightaways where that really makes a difference. So there's just, most of the items in this game, and I keep saying this, but I have to reiterate that most of the items in this game are pretty crap. They're designed for people like in 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th place more than 1st, 2nd, 3rd place. And if you're constantly in 2nd place and can't quite get ahead to get to 1st, you're basically SOL. And that just kind of happens to be a thing just because there's usually not items. Because for some reason it doesn't want to give you the missiles too often, and that's about the only item that can really hit the person in first apart from the mask. So, well, that it just results in a lot of wonkiness, but you'll get used to it in time. So, but we're almost done with this episode. I'm talking like we've got another 4 minutes here or something. I gotta kind of be in relative wrap-up mode. But this is part 11, final actual regular race stage in the game. I think there's actually some other ones, but I think you have to 100% it to get them. We'll see. I don't know. I'm probably not. I'm set. I've put my foot down that I'm not going to do it, but at least, you know. And make sure you're pressing R1 when you jump. It'll definitely help. It'll give you the boost and you'll get even further. So. Crash is just having a hell of a time. He's just going nuts. Alright, folks. Well, I guess not yet, but a little bit longer. How'd Coco get in first? Let Crash get ahead of you. Crash. Yeah. Alright, so stay tuned. I'll see you part 12, and we'll get the Pinstripe and stuff. See ya.